What up, Mortal Kombat fans? I'm officially back from EVO 2025, getting my hands-on experience with Mortal Kombat Trilogy. I'm going to tell you everything I can about the game. Welcome into today's video. I'm excited to discuss all the things that I saw, how the game played, everything about it. We got the original Mortal Kombat Trilogy pulled up right here on my PlayStation Classic. Now, the first thing I want to mention is that on the new Mortal Kombat Trilogy, as part of the Legacy Collection, the loading has been virtually eliminated. That is absolutely tremendous. First things first, had to get that out of the way. The loading time's practically gone. This is the PlayStation 1 version, which I know a lot of people were wondering about. Well, let's go ahead and get into it. I just wanted to mention that first, but the next thing I want to bring to you is your secret menu area. Now, you may remember this part right here where you could go and you had your green question mark. Now, if you hold all your top trigger buttons and up, you'll get that right there. So the codes still work. Now, I do have my one button fatality turned on, but that will give you access to the secret menu there. All your settings work exactly as they did before. So you got your game configure. I mean, this is exactly what you're getting in it. There's been no changes to anything as far as that goes. That's how I like my controller set up. All this menu is the same. We were all playing around in here, just being nostalgic, seeing what everybody used to have, seeing how everybody had their settings set up at the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection booth. One thing I used to love about the PlayStation version, if you go over here real quick and hit exit, if you do it fast enough, you can get this to stick on a swirl. Let's see if we can get it. I didn't get it that time. That's alright. Let's get into the next thing on the video, my friends. And here we are at the character select screen. So, first things first, had a great time doing this. Up and start is how you select your characters or your stage on here. If you hit up and start on Sonya, you're going to hear that thunder. You can go over here. I think you hit select. Yes, select gives you alternate versions. You can get MK1 Raiden, MK2 Jax, MK2 Kung Lao, or MK1 Kano. So all that is still there. Wonderful stuff. And I did beat this at EVO with Scorpion. I'm going to go ahead and pick Scorpion. I'm going to go to my favorite stage here. All the stages are here. It's exactly a 1-to-1 port. So Kung Fu Part 1 is right there. Many of you may remember Kung Fu Part 1. Still have your classic towers, as you may remember. Now, one thing I'm going to show you as soon as the match starts that I did find pretty intriguing, and I haven't seen anybody discuss this yet, and I'll show you in a second. And I can tell you from hands-on, it's way faster than that. So, you have your pause menu, and the pause menu in Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the Legacy Collection does work exactly as it worked in this game back in the day. You have a pause, or you can hit pause and select and go down to quit. So there's no in-game move list. There is none of that. So let me turn this down just a little bit. I want to make sure you can hear me. But there is none of that, which I did find interesting. So, and I will show you, the game was running at EVO like this. Like, it was running as if they'd already booted into the game. So I'm guessing the way this will run is we just select it from the main menu and it will go into the game similar to how you would load the PlayStation disc. Because it's a 1-to-1 port. There are no new in-game menus or anything like that. I thought I would discuss that and show that to you. Now we're going to get into the next part of the video that I did kind of want to discuss about playing this game online. When it comes to the online playability of this game, it sounds like we're not going to have crossplay at launch, but it does sound like that is something that they're working very hard towards. Hopefully we do get crossplay. Either way, rollback netcode is going to be absolutely incredible for these games. And to have our hands on Mortal Kombat Trilogy in 2025 playing online, that's going to be a ton of fun. I'm currently going to be getting this on my PlayStation 5. And I look forward to playing with everybody on that. But when it comes to crossplay, it's not going to be in there at launch. But I hope it will be there soon after launch. We don't know yet, but I think we will see crossplay before all is said and done. So much looking forward to that. But just in general, the online experience, rollback netcode for Trilogy and all these MK games, which they have said that we are going to be getting none of the handheld ports online. As far as I am pretty sure, there's no handheld ports online. I was trying to think. I think it's just the arcade classics and the console versions, but that is going to be great. We're going to be able to play the console versions online of Sega Genesis Mortal Kombat and stuff like that. So that covers about the online aspect of this. I did forget to ask about ranking mode, but I'm sure we'll have a ranked mode on the game. So that brings me to my next point. Bug fixes and glitches. From what I could tell, from what I saw, and from what was going on there all weekend long, everybody that tested the game and tested any bugs or glitches or tested any glitch fatalities or glitch finishers, everything worked as it used to back in the day. It seems like they have basically left everything as is. All your infinites are still there. Everything in this game is going to be exactly as you remember it. A one-to-one historical port. I'm actually really excited for that. The only thing that's not there is non-game breaking things or non-game changing things like, reduction of the lag, improving how the game operates and things like that. That's fantastic. But as far as removal of infinites or anything of that nature, all the original gameplay is there. It is staying as it was back in the day. So I'm excited for that. Cool stuff. And then let me see. I got some notes over here. Now, I do want to mention that there's probably going to be a lot of... There might be some of these characters that have infinites and stuff. I think it was in the Street Fighter game that they did that one character was not allowed in online ranked play. I think they issued a patch where Akuma or somebody wasn't allowed in online play. So we might get something like that for this game. Playing online, maybe you can't use noob or who knows. So we'll see down the road if that's something that they implement. Now, another thing I haven't heard anybody discussing, will these games have a theater mode where you can go in and maybe look at these endings after you beat Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3 or Mortal Kombat Trilogy? Because think of all the endings in this game, and we never had a native way to view them. Now, when I asked about that, it was an interesting answer I got, which was they didn't want us leaving the game to go look up these endings. But as far as being in the game, a new feature where there might be a library or an archive or somewheres in the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection where you can view these endings and bios and things of that nature for each character. I would actually really love that if we had like a library or some kind of a resource within Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection where we could see these characters' bios, endings, and stuff like that. It'd be nice so you wouldn't have to grind for it every single time if you wanted to see the ending. It sounded like they thought of that, and they are going to be implementing something, but it won't be added as a feature in the game. Like Mortal Kombat Gold, for instance, did have the endings completely viewable in a section in the game. This is not going to have anything like that. They're not making any changes to Mortal Kombat Trilogy. This is literally, if you grew up playing the PlayStation 1 version, that's what you're getting with this being added to the Legacy Collection, and it's super exciting. To me, as a Mortal Kombat fan throughout my entire life, to know that this is coming with rollback netcode, and the only thing that's been changed is they've just made the game run smoother, and it's so exciting. But let's get to the next point. When are we getting our hands on this game? Now, a couple of weeks ago, we saw a date float around. I believe it was September 30th from Xbox. It was supposedly a leak, and everybody was excited that we got a release date. I was told by multiple people that release date is false. I was told that there is currently no release date for the game. We do know that the Deluxe Edition will be releasing December 12th. The Collector's Edition is being done by Limited Run Games, I believe, and that will come out later. But the actual release date for the digital versions, we don't have an actual release date yet to this moment. The leak of that September 30th release date was not true. So I was told that directly and by two different people there that work there. So take that for what you will. I don't think they're covering up for anything. I think that there's just not a release date yet, because it sounds like they are working very hard on this game all the time, grinding. I hear they're still trying to get a few things going. I think Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection is shaping up to be absolutely tremendous. Mortal Kombat Trilogy being added now just sends it, to a whole nother stratosphere. There's a lot of news to get into, and I'm going to be coming back and making more videos to cover that. This is just getting into Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the Legacy Collection. I'm trying to think if I've left anything out. Now, I know people were asking, are we going to get the Nintendo 64 version of Trilogy? Now, I asked about that. Didn't really get like a vibe of yes or no. Just kind of let's see where things go from here. Didn't hear the term Nintendo 64 brought up a lot. I don't think, other than me mentioning it, I don't think I heard anybody asking for it. But, you know, if you want to see Trilogy from the Nintendo 64, let me know in the comments section below. I want to make sure I'm checking my notes here, but I do believe that's pretty much it. There's some other things that I heard there, and, you know, I don't know what all they were being generous with the information and stuff like that. I guess I can mention this. From what I heard, as far as Mortal Kombat Trilogy and playing these games online, sounds like it's going to be a PvP experience. Player versus player. Doesn't sound like we're going to be getting lobbies at launch, but they are very much aware of how important these games were to the arcade scene, and how Mortal Kombat Trilogy obviously was a home game, but all the Mortal Kombat Legacy really started out in the arcades, and how it was always two players playing the game with people behind them watching, spectating, and they know how important it was and how important it would be to recreate that experience in this game. And they said that currently they don't have, it's probably, well, basically all I heard was that it's probably going to be PvP, no lobbies as of yet, but that they know how important, I overheard this while I was there, that they know how important it is to recreate the true experience of the arcade with this Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. Now, obviously, Trilogy wasn't in the arcades, but it will be cool to play this game with real people, for many of us, for the very first time. I got a chance to play Mortal Kombat Trilogy with some wonderful folks this weekend, and I had an absolute blast. Shout out to everybody. I got a chance to play Mortal Kombat Trilogy with Unruly this weekend. Ketchup, Mustard, there's a person I'm not even gonna name drop, but it was amazing because I was like, wow, it's incredible. I never thought I'd be able to play with these people. I'm not gonna name drop anybody if they're a super huge name, but thank you for playing me. And but for the most part, I'm getting absolutely super excited for the Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the Legacy Collection. I got a chance to play some games in person. The game plays very, very smooth. We tested out the Nintendo Switch version, the Switch 2 version, and also the PC version. Both played wonderful, and all the controls exactly as you remember them. The menus exactly as you remember them. We did 2-on-2 combat. I saw players doing an 8-player tournament. Everything is exactly the same. Like I said, it's a 1-to-1 port. I am blown away that this is actually occurring. It's super exciting as a Mortal Kombat fan. I want to hear all your thoughts down below. Now, I don't think I left anything out. For the most part, this was a joy to play when we were there. And for the most part, you know, your loading is gone. Everything else runs perfect as intended. I didn't notice any input delay. I didn't notice any music audio stutters. I didn't notice any incorrect audio. Everything seemed to be absolutely perfect. I even hit a few infinite loops with Sub-Zero just to test out if that worked. These are going to be really, really fun. Now, I should have asked if we're going to get maybe a mode, like a time completion challenge tower, anything like that. I think that'd be amazing too. But I'm excited to get my hands on Mortal Kombat Trilogy, part of the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection. It's coming out. The deluxe edition releases December 12th this year on my birthday, so I'm super excited for that. And then we don't know exactly when we're going to be getting the digital edition release, but let me know in the comment section below. When do you think it's actually going to come out? Oops. I know there's a couple things that are probably holding them up on
Sub-Zero wins.
Animality?
Animality.
I actually saw that glitch in person when we were there this past weekend. That must be a one button fatality or one button animality glitch. I actually saw that in person. Ketchup, I believe, I think it was Ketchup was either playing or Ketchup was commentating, and Mustard was playing or Mustard was commentating, and one of them did that, and I actually saw that live. But again, there's not going to be any in-game menus. When you hit pause, it will do that, and then you can go to your quit, and that's it right there. And then the game was running like this at EVO. So like I said, the game was running as if it was running an actual PlayStation disc from back in the day. So I'm guessing once you load into these games, whether it be the arcade version or the Sega Genesis version or the Super Nintendo version, whatever game you're playing on the Mortal Kombat Legacy Collection, I'm assuming it's just jumping directly into that game, and there's not going to be any in-game move lists and stuff. If you played Mortal Kombat Arcade Collection back in the day, you will be familiar with the fact that we did have an actual move list in-game. Well, now it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, but maybe we'll be able to access it from a side menu or something like that while we play. You never know. But I'm excited for this to come. Also, I'm going to be doing another video on what the future games are, because you never know. I mean, we just wrapped up a great weekend with Digital Eclipse and Atari. Who knows? Maybe I got some insight. You know, there's a lot of speculation out there. Are these games coming? Are they not coming? Is gold going to be in there? Is it not? Is it, I mean, there's rumors flying around. Also, like, could we get mythologies or special forces? Some people say they weren't Mortal Kombat fighting games, so they don't deserve to be part of the legacy. We're going to get into that in one of our next videos. Thank you for checking this out. I'm super excited. Don't forget that thumbs up, share with a friend, and make sure you're subscribed if you enjoy the content and you want to keep up with future videos. Appreciate you watching. I'm going to head out for now. Let me know your thoughts all down below in the comments section. If you have any questions for me about what I saw when I was there, ask me down below. Thank you very much for checking out the stream or the video. I'm just an old arcade head, locked in for life. I'm absolutely tore up. I just got back from EVO earlier today. I'm losing my voice. It was a great time. I had about three full-on days with Mortal Kombat Trilogy there, and I loved it. Much love, my friends. Take care, stay safe. I'm going to head out for now, but as always, I will see you on the next Mortal Kombat video. Take care, my friends. Peace.